Obviously, I am a huge fan of Lil Nas X, and I am deeply concerned after seeing this video. I think there are several things that we need to consider, and that we need to share a little bit more empathy when we're talking about things like this. I saw the video of Lil Nas X, and I'm not gonna hold you all, like, it's jarring. And I was not even sure if I was going to talk about this because, like, the last week it's been a lot. My birthday was last week, and my brother's birthday was not too long ago. His birthday is 3 days after mine, which is the 16th. And this is the 4-year anniversary of his passing. Now, let me just say trigger warning, because we're going to be talking about OD, addiction, all of these things. And I want to be honest. Like, I just want to be honest. And again, watching this, like, video of Lil Nas X, I thought to myself, like, this seems like this is real. We know Lil Nas X to be very playful, to do different things and to get attention. The red carpet from the J. Christ song, where you had these people dressing up as celebrities. I think someone dressed up as Kanye West. Someone also dressed up as Mariah Carey. Lil Nas X is known for getting attention and trolling. And that's some of the criticism that I have given towards him with this new era, is that you got to stop doing that for people to take you serious as an artist. And I'm hoping that this isn't a stunt. This isn't something that is playful or trying to get attention from the media. But then again, I don't want it to be the other. I don't want it to be the other, which is what everybody is talking about. So for those who do not know, there's reports that Lil Nas X has been arrested and he has been sent to a hospital for OD. He was seen in Studio City, California, that's close to LA. And he was walking the streets at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he seemed to be different. That's the best way I can put it. Seemed to be maybe on something or maybe high, and someone was recording him, and he was telling them to go on by, like he was just trying to get them out the way. This seemed to me a little bit like maybe this could be promo, but then I said, what if it's not promo? What if it's not promo? And I'm not going to hold y'all, like, I got so emotional. One of my friends sent it to me while I was watching the video, and then I saw that it had that he had been arrested for OD. We haven't seen a mugshot. There isn't any pictures of a mugshot online right now. All we have is this video. And it didn't even recognize to me that this was that while I was watching the video. I had to go back. The link that my friend sent me had that he was arrested. And I was just so jarred by the video. I was trying to process it, trying to figure out if this is a stunt or what is going on? Like we haven't heard anything from him. And there's been a couple of TikTok videos and tweets about where is Lil Nas X, people showing genuine concern. One of my mutuals shared a TikTok, hey, like, what's going on with my sister? Like, and these are folks my age. We have this young queer black boy from Atlanta, from the South, who has gotten a lot of attention over the last couple of years, and for the most part has been somewhat struggling to get that and keep that same attention. So yes, some of us who are knowledgeable of the industry and know what it's like being a black queer person, period, know that he might be going through something. We didn't want to put that on him, but we had some concerns because it's not like him. Or maybe he was taking time away from social media to focus on his music. But there were videos that were posted earlier this year that some folks made it seem as though he may be high. There was also some interesting posts made on his Instagram account, and it was him rearranging furniture in his house, and folks had concerns around that. Like, what is going on? Like, is everything okay? And Lil Nas X has always been this playful, since he's been out, he's been very playful and artistic with his expression. Like the way he expresses himself is very artistic. That's what makes him who he is. He's very talented. But knowing the industry and knowing what it's like dealing with being a celebrity that fast, nobody's built for that. And I've been saying that for a minute. Nobody is built for that. You can only do things to maintain it, to be able to keep yourself in a good space. But if you suffer from depression, anxiety, all of these things happen for the most part. I've been doing content and been online for 10 plus years now. And I've had some things happen along the way to where I'm at now. And those of you who've been watching me remember that. Like, it is not easy dealing with people coming back to you with, it's not easy dealing with all of that attention. We're talking about on Lil Nas X level, where he has the most streamed song, most viewed video out of a lot of other artists. Like, he was in competition, or I think he beat Mariah Carey for having the #1 single, like the #1 song out for weeks. We rallied behind Lil Nas X after the This Isn't Country Music, the same thing that Beyonce dealt with her album. We rallied behind him and we supported him. And some folks talked about him being queer, but he wasn't, quote unquote, out at the time, but he came out later and talked about that. So a lot of us built a relationship, a parasocial relationship with him, including me. I got a chance to interview him a couple of years ago. One of the highlights of my career, speaking with him and finding out that he was a fan of me and watched me when he was growing up. To see this video and to see this young black queer man possibly dealing with these things, Lil Nas X shared that his mother suffered from addiction. And as someone who also has addiction in both sides of my family, that is something that I've always been concerned with dealing with depression and anxiety. And I take this very serious, and I'm hoping that he is surrounded by folks who mean him well and want to look after him and help him make the best decisions. And I just think that, again, being in this limelight, dealing with all of this success and all of this attention and trying to chase that fame and trying to get that attention that you had from your first album, I would not be surprised if that is what is causing him a lot of unrest. I would not be surprised if that is bothering him, and to the point that he is having to rely on other things to get him by. And I think we need to understand that addiction is a disease. I'm not saying that Lil Nas X has that, but the conversation is now about addiction and drug use. That's what people are saying about him. So I have to mention that. I'm not saying that is what happened. I'm not saying he's dealing with that. Enough people have talked about it, that it is out there. And I think we need to be honest about how we show up for people that we care about. As someone who lost a family member to this, and we're still, as a family, like, trying to grasp what happened, because we've never known them to like have these things, like, or to deal with these things. But you never know what somebody is going through. You never know what a person is going through. And that's why I've always tried to make sure that the people that I surround myself with are people who genuinely care about me as a person, care about me more than just what I look like, more than just what I can do for them or who I am on this app that you're watching, but me as a person. And I think we all need to surround ourselves with friends that we can depend on, and they can depend on us. I think it's very important because we all are going to go through good moments and bad moments. And sometimes some of them will outweigh the others. None of us are immune to these things. And for some of us, it may be even easier for us to fall into these things, given our social economic status. When it comes to Lil Nas X and this video and this story about him possibly like going through this, y'all, like, we got to make sure that we're checking on our people. We got to make sure that we're checking on our people. And I'm not just talking about like texting, calling them. What the old folks used to say, I need to lay my eyes on you. That's something my mama, I need to lay my eyes on you. Like, y'all got me out here sounding like somebody granddaddy now, like an unk. But we got to check in on our folks. And I understand sometimes it can be taxing because we're all dealing with this world and all the things that are going on. But all we got is community. That's all we have to combat these things is community. And I just feel like that the community did not show up for Lil Nas X. And I don't know what that community looks like because I'm hearing reports of him kind of isolating himself and firing some of his team. And not just the community failing him if this is what is going on, but also the industry and the label itself. Because we've seen what has happened over the last year or so with Lil Nas X trying to put out new music, what he's going for. And it's clear that the label wants a specific sound and a specific look. And that may not be the direction that Lil Nas X wants to go to, but he's having to because the label wants money. They want to recoup what they have invested and they want even more money outside of that. Lil Nas X is not the first celebrity to deal with these rumors. He's not the first celebrity to be having reports of OD. It has happened to a lot of celebrities over time. I'm not blaming him at all. I'm blaming the pressure to be successful, to be these things, to participate and be exploited for capital. Like, that's what it boils down to. Like, that is the pressure of having to be successful and making another hit is something that we just cannot do. We look at how many great Black folks we have lost. And this is not specific to Black folks, but look at how many Black artists we have lost and artists in general to this. That is one of the things that I had a conversation with one of my very close friends at the time is that we are doing this. We need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and checking in because we both have these things in our family and it can affect us. Like I do not want to fall into that, but I know how easy it is to rely on these things, these substances, to pull something out of you, to make you more creative. And this is not a PSA to doing these things because everything in moderation, period. I just want folks to understand what pushes people to do said things and that how easy it can be for any of us who are being exploited to any degree or dealing with trauma. It's easy to want a fix and to get out, to escape. And I just hate that this happened to such a young Black queer person because we have seen increasing numbers of Black queer folks doing these said things and not making out of it and not making it out. Being unalived in the process. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot for any Black queer person. And also a Black queer person with this much visibility who's being pressured to make hits, to make these things. I feel like that's what Cardi B is dealing with right now, if I'm being honest. The pressure to make another hit, the pressure to make another album that is successful. And we participate in it too, with the constant conversations about, is it flopping or what is it giving? Like, we are helping the label push these things. And we got to check in with ourselves. We've been talking about numbers so much that it's annoying. Let's just enjoy good music, good quality music. But it's not about that. So again, it's a very sad situation. I hope that Lil Nas X finds community and folks who are going to uplift him. My prayers go out to him, and I'm sending him love and energy. And I think we all should too. I think it also needs to be a discussion about how we engage in conversations like this, because when it first was reported, you had people still now commenting, making jokes about this, like fan pages making jokes, people in the comments saying, oh, well, he looks good, steady wanting to consume this black body, dissecting him. Oh, he looks good. This man is being reported to OD, and y'all are talking about how good he looks. And I'm not really surprised he was a white. Not really surprised. Because y'all have been known to do that in LA. Y'all been known to do that in LA. So again, I'm hoping that this isn't a stunt. I don't think it is. I do not believe that it is a stunt. I think we also need to remember that this is something that is in his family, that he has a mother who has suffered from, if this is what it is. So we have to also consider that and just move in grace in this discussion, or we don't even have to have a discussion about it. Matter of fact, I shouldn't even be doing a video about it, but it was just too close to home for me. It was just too close. I really had to take a moment to just sit with it. Like, again, this is the anniversary of my brother's passing. And I'm just thinking about all the things. I've been emotional the last week or so. I've been having dreams about my brother and waking up. I had one last night. So to just see this video and to see this report, it was just a lot, y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all. And it's just something about August, that it's a beautiful month for me and celebrating my birthday. It's also a reminder of the person I was closest to is no longer here, and I miss him. So shout out to y'all. I appreciate you all. And let's just keep Lil Nas X in our prayers. I'll talk to y'all soon.